So, are you one of those people out there looking for their passion? We're on our second stage of a series designed to help you do just that. So stay tuned. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. Last time we got together, we had laid a foundation about finding your passion. We talked about the myths that people embrace that aren't true. But let's get to work. Let's roll up our sleeves and get ready to take a test. Once again, huge shout out to Dean Graziosi for his article, 20 Questions to Help You Find Your Passion. We're going to go over those. So once again, big shout out to Dean. Let's get started. Now, let's check in on your own experiences to determine what your passion might be. We'll be looking at a lot of aspects of your life, from what you do in your free time to what your loved ones would say about you. Answering these questions should help you figure things out, and once you apply what you've learned, you'll really change your life. So what are you waiting for? Grab a pen and paper and start writing down your answers to these questions. Question 1. What's working and what's not? What do you like about your current job? What do you dislike? Do you need a new job altogether? Or are there adjustments, alterations, or additions you can perform to make it align more with your interests? Your interests are a good stepping stone for determining your passion. Reflecting on them may point you in the right direction, so this is a great place to start. All right, let's go over that, as far as I'm concerned. And once again, your answers are going to be different. Why? Because you're you and I'm me. That's why. My foundation has always been as a team player. No matter what it was, whatever activity I was always doing, it wasn't necessarily to be the man, to be Michael Jordan, to be LeBron James, to have, a 50-point game. My objective was always to win. And it's in high school, as a basketball player, I was the point guard, the guy that sets everything up, the guy that makes the passes. Later on in life, as a manager, my job was to develop other people. And when I would develop somebody to a position where they were a manager, guess what? They would leave my office and go and start their own office. So that means I had to replace them. So I always had people in the pipeline, always looking to help people. That is essentially my foundation. I don't know what your foundation is, but figure out what it is and let's apply it as we go over these different questions. Question number 2. What do you lose track of time doing? What do you lose track of time doing? What can you do for hours on end, but it feels like mere minutes? Is it reading comic books, woodworking, playing a sport, listening to a podcast? How does that connect to other activities that you enjoy? Are there people who get paid to do what you lose track of time doing? Is there any way this passion in your career path can overlap? Wow. All right, what do I lose track of time doing? Well, let's go back to after I graduated from college. Being, in high school and college, basketball was huge for me. Being a school teacher was huge for me. And after I got out of school, I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast and wanted to continue in the field, so to speak, of education and basketball. Well, obviously my competitive days were over. I was not good enough even to play time. And I still have blisters from sitting on the bench in college. So it wasn't like I was going into the pros anywhere as a basketball player. But I loved the game, wanted to continue it. And also, my education was focused on being a school teacher. I got myself a job as a school teacher, and I found a place where I could coach. They were not the same two schools, but they were two of my passions. And how do I know that's correct? After the basketball games, we would, coach all of the coaches would go to this watering hole, and we would sit there for hours just telling stories and going over the games and talking about stuff. So I think I kind of found my passion there. And as a basketball player, I could play for hours and hours and hours and hours. I'd come home exhausted. But so you have that passion. What is it you can do where you lose complete track of time? Think about it. Third question. What can you talk about for hours? Well, I kind of just went over what we can talk about for hours. Is there a subject you never get tired of talking about? What do your family and friends say you're always going on about? What do you spend your lunch break discussing? What topic makes your face light up at the mere mention of it? Is it business? Is it books? Is it trains? Is it self-care? For me, one of the things that gives me the most satisfaction, the most fulfillment, is developing somebody to become the person that they want to become. And that's, like I said, that started at an early age. One of the things is if you can get somebody to, score a few points, you lay the ball off them, you make a good pass to them, boom, that's where it starts. I used to play volleyball for fun. Now keep in mind that when I'm playing volleyball with, civilians, so to speak, first of all, I'm 6'1", which isn't tall for a basketball player, but in real life it's a pretty tall person. So normally when you have a person like that, that's the guy that you want up at the net making the slam. I never did that. I was always the setter. I always was the guy that would set the ball up so that other people could score in volleyball. I mean, just everything I did, that's my passion. So once again, where do you sit? What is it that you're excited about? Question number 4. What did you love to do as a kid and in high school? As a child, what did you play with the most? Were you more into imaginative play, video games, or a specific toy? Did you play with others or did you play alone? What was your favorite book, movie, and TV show? In high school, what did you have the best time doing? Were you into sports, musical, or social events? Was there a subject you particularly enjoyed? Was there something you looked forward to doing every single day? Take some notes. When I reflect on this particular question, what I think about? I think about when I was a little boy, and I'm not talking about 12, 13. I'm talking about 7, 8, 9, maybe even younger than that. One of the things I used to do is, in your house you have, the doorways, and there's a ledge on the doorway. I don't know where I first discovered this little game, okay, but you would take a couple of socks, and roll them up in a ball, and take the socks and shoot them, and the idea was to get them right over the little crevice there. And if you get it, you score, or sometimes it would hit and then hit it. And then the other thing I would always do is whenever I walked through a doorway, I would be up jumping, tipping the top of the doorway. Jumping all the time. My mom used to say to me, "Stop jumping in the house, stop jumping in the house. You're not outside, this isn't the playground, you're not in the gym. Stop jumping." All right, and we lived on the second floor, we had people downstairs. All right, she said, "People are complaining, stop jumping." I don't know. That was a passion of mine when I was a kid. And of course, as a basketball player in grammar school and high school, that was my passion. That's what I enjoyed doing. So what is it that you enjoy doing? Go back and think of the things that you did before you even knew about stuff like that. What was it that got you excited? Question 5. What do you want to be remembered for? If someone were to write your eulogy, what are the 3 things you would want them to name as your accomplishments? Are they related to social justice, family, or career? What matters most to you? Think of what the world needs and what you want to provide the world. Ask yourself what you want to accomplish while you're on this planet. When I think of that, my first thing is, once again, developing people is number one with me, but who's the number one person to develop? What's the name of this channel? Project Eli, my number one son. That is what's most important to me. And so it's kind of, as a parent, everybody wants their kids to be successful. They want the kids to be better than they are, so on and so forth. And also, in terms of making Eli a success, I want to give him all of the tools. I kind of think I've shown my passion. What do we have, about 1,000 videos now that in Project Eli? We have quite a few in Project Eli. So, I've not only embraced my passion, I've taken action on my passion, which leads me to what we're going to do next time. We're going to continue with more questions to get you focused on finding your passion. And kind of obvious, hey, don't ration the passion, fashion the passion. I'm Eli's dad.